is Doug Stafford, Chief Strategist of the Rand Paul for President campaign, with a first of a series of updates we're going to start doing for everybody out there that is a part of Team Rand and supporting Rand for President. We want to give you an update over the last week and looking forward for the next couple of weeks for Rand Paul for President. Rand had a great debate last week. He had the least amount of time of anybody on the stage, unfortunately. That's nothing new for the Paul family, if you recall back for 2012, but he made the most of it. He was in the discussion on every topic. He gave some great answers, and most importantly, he really took it to some of the other folks on the stage that needed to have a good talking to, whether it was Donald Trump refusing to say whether he would actually run in the Republican Party, or whether or not he was part of the Washington machine, or whether it was Chris Christie not really understanding what the Fourth Amendment was about and trying to lecture Senator Paul, who really sent it back his way, letting him know that you can fight terrorism while protecting civil liberties, and there's a way to do it, and it's who we are as a country and as a people. And if we're going to be out there fighting for our freedom, we have to actually make sure we keep our country free. And I think everyone who saw that debate would agree that Rand did a great job talking about the issues and standing up to the other folks on the stage who were either trying to be a bully or trying to say something that's just demonstrably false. Over the weekend, right after the debate, Rand made a great trip to South Carolina. Big crowds, enthusiastic crowds. He elaborated a little bit, too, on what his problem is with the candidacy of Mr. Trump. And that's, the fact that Rand started as a Tea Party candidate. I remember him telling the story about that he ran for office basically because he got sick of sitting on his couch throwing stuff at the television set. And I think we can all kind of relate to that. And he spoke at one of the first Tea Parties in the country. He spoke at them before he ran for office, and he understands the anger at Washington and at the government and about the debt and Obamacare and the bank bailouts and all the stuff that really fueled the Tea Party and Senator Paul's ability to run for office. And what he's concerned about is that that's all being hijacked by somebody that's not really part of that movement, that's a bit too much of a fake on these kind of issues. And Senator Paul is the one who will fight for term limits and fight to read the bills and propose a fully detailed 5-year balanced budget alongside the biggest tax cut in American history. And it's time for a serious discussion on who can fight the Washington machine. It's time for a serious discussion on who has the best ideas to rein in Washington. It's time for a serious discussion is, can you really count on a crony capitalist to fight corporate welfare? Can you count on somebody who has said he wants to buy and sell politicians to be on our side if he were to get in office? We don't think that's the case for Donald Trump, and we think Senator Paul is the best candidate to carry that message forward. Going forward in the next week or two, we have a great trip to New Hampshire planned for the next 3 days. In addition, there'll be some exciting announcements on the grassroots front. We have been saying from the beginning that this is a grassroots campaign that will depend on the hard work of ordinary Americans around the country and voters who want to stand with Rand. And we're going to put out a couple of announcements this week that'll really show how that's coming together. In addition, this campaign is built for the long haul. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And when the voters start casting their ballots next year in Iowa, New Hampshire, and elsewhere, Rand is going to come out victorious. And I think no amount of polling or publicity in August before that will put a stop to that. If you think back into 2012, President Bachmann and President Kaine were in the leads in August and September, I believe, in 2012. So I would just remind everybody out there not to put a whole lot of stock in things like national polls months before anyone even thinks about casting a ballot. So we are real happy with where our organization is. We're happy with where the grassroots support is. We encourage everybody to get involved by going to randpaul.com, signing up to be a volunteer, donating, whatever you can do. And keep an eye on how you can help, and also keep an eye for some of the updates and the exciting news we're going to have for everybody this week. Thanks for listening, and we'll try to update you every couple of weeks at least from the campaign, and we'll talk to you soon.